Hey guys, my name's Drew Pizzulo, and welcome to yet another episode of Watch Out. Again, I'm your host, and for this month of March 2026, we're going to be going into something a little bit dire with tax season right on the horizon. Um, Going into 9 companies over the past year of watches that didn't make it, that are either going through bankruptcy right now or have filed for bankruptcy, and they will no longer be around anymore. So, without further ado, let's take a look at our 9 unlucky contestants to show you the brands that will not be around going forward. In best case, if any of them get bought out by a bigger parent company to for their survival, that could happen as well. But let's get right to them. The first one up on the list, Nine West. Okay, Nine West is a little fashion company that people may have heard of. A lot of people see these watches in the stores all the time, in your J.C. Penney, in your Nordstrom backstage, or what Macy's backstage, or Nordstrom rack. Listen, this is out of the 9. This is the least surprising, I would say. Um, it's a fashion watch, okay? They're typical. They go for 19.99, and basically they're made all of Chinese parts, and they're throwaway watches. But Nine West was one of the companies that's been around doing these for decades, and listen, they're not going to make it. And one of the main reasons for this is just basically there are a variety of factors for this. Um, Number one, nobody's going to need a watch like Nine West anymore when you have smartwatches, like Apple, who is the leader of the smartwatch and the most popular watch in the world right now. And you have Fitbits and all the stuff like that for anybody who likes those type of watches. But those have decimated Nine West's market because they are a cheap, low-end watch just to tell time. There's really no lane for them anymore like there used to be for the Timexes of the world. But basically, when Apple Watches and Fitbits are becoming that inexpensive, what the heck do you need to go buy a Nine West watch for? It's just for fashion, and their fashion doesn't differentiate themselves enough for them to stay in the market. So they are on the chopping block. They are heading out. Another fashion brand that is actually heading out in the watch market, okay, is Michael Kors. Okay, this is a little bit more surprising. About 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they were all the rage when they came into the market with their watches, with all these different types of designs. But once again, a fashion brand. And this fashion, again, like Nine West, both of them have something very similar in common, all made in China. They have very, very cheap movements, not known. Their only designer quality is looks wise, if you like their look. But most people see right through for what it is. And when they debuted on the market, they came out for around $400 or $500, and people were scooping them up, thinking it was such a great buy. And they've now fallen on hard times. You can now pick them up brand new at Macy's or J.C. Penney's for $50. The fad is worn off, and like I said, now we're into the world of the shift to smartwatches, and most people find these things disposable. And Michael Kors on this end of their fashion line, because they're more known for purses and stuff like that. So this was a arm of their division, but they are going by the wayside as well. Number 3, this one's a little interesting as well. Armatron. Okay, they have filed for bankruptcy, believe it or not. They are part of the Gluck Corporation. They filed Chapter 11 in December 2025, citing pressures from smartwatches. And you really, again, is it that much of a shock? Who's going to buy an Armatron, which tells basically the time, the date Sometimes it tells, limited things about how you're running or distance and stuff like that. But why would you need all that if you're just going to go buy a smartwatch to track your steps and your daily activities, doing it with Apple or Fitbit or anything else like that? The only advantage to something like Armatron would be most of them are solar, so they last a lot longer than smartwatches. But they just can't compete with them. They can't do enough or sell enough of these things to be profitable anymore. That's why their parent company, eGlut Corporation, filed for bankruptcy in December 2025. It's been around for a long time too, probably 30, 40 years for Armatron, and known for a runner's watch. Big in marathons, big in sports activities, pretty durable watches too. But you also got the other lane, which Casio makes G-Shock. Okay, so G-Shock, would you rather have a G-Shock or an Armatron, or would you rather have a smartwatch or an Armatron? And most people are just saying no to Armatron, as they are going by the wayside as well, unless they are bought out by a different company. Okay, this is a partial bankruptcy, this next one. Invicta. Okay, so they basically have legal disputes in the making right now. And they are as of 2026 February, they're still around online, okay, but they're not around in stores anymore. That happened a year or two ago, where they closed all of their physical locations. But right now, the parent company is trying to get out of bankruptcy. I mean, Invicta's, as we all are known for some of the most interesting and gaudy designs that have ever been created, all in different sizes, and they are known for like 5,500 different types of models. But they did have some iconic features along the way, like the Lupa and Pro Diver and stuff like that. So you got to give them credit a little bit there. And they were basically a company that could range anywhere between $50 and $500 for the most part, using Chinese, Japanese, Swiss movements, anything they can literally get their hands on to put in the watch. The unfortunate thing is they are located in Florida, so it is a U.S. business now. It's been that way since 1992. And if they are indeed going bankrupt, that's just going to be a loss of a lot of jobs. And I do feel bad for anybody that does work with them if their bankruptcy is full and complete. But they are, if you have warranties with them, be careful with this brand, because they may not honor them if they fully go bankrupt. Next up. Okay, now this is the first one, part of the larger company. And I should probably do this one first. The larger company is Fossil. Okay, this is quite surprising, because 10 years ago, Fossil was like the number 2 or number 3 watch being sold. That's how popular they were. They do have a variety of different designs. They have automatic, they have solar, they have battery. But the main problem with Fossil is, again, it's another fashion watch. It's poorly made. It's made in China. And they break down a lot. And they used to sell them as an arm of their Fossil stores. Now, their stores may be taking a hit as well, because, again, malls aren't what they used to be, and sales aren't what they used to be in the malls. But the watches are definitely taking a beating for the reasons we've already stated before, as well as other things like the economic factors. Keep in mind, any Chinese brand that you bring in, either Nine West or Michael Kors or Fossil, anything related to Fossil, is going to have tariffs, especially from China. So when you got high inflation over the last 4 years up until the last year or two, plus the high interest rates and tariffs, it makes these watches, even though they're cheap to begin with, it makes them too expensive for people to say, I would prefer it over a Seiko or a Timex or any of the other brands that are more popular, Bulova, Citizen. Any of those brands are going to win out all the time, because they're much more reliable than a brand like Fossil. The problem that Fossil brings is it brings other brands with them. This is the parent company. that's going bankrupt. So yeah, they actually own some other brands like the next brand on our list, Skagen. Okay, Skagen was a Denmark company that got bought out by Fossil, and again, they're known for a variety of things as well, and mostly what they're known for is their design with their mesh bands. Okay, so they're known for their mesh bands. They have a lot of solar, they have a lot of battery, and they do have a couple automatics here and there. But they were a Denmark brand for a long time, and then until they were bought out by the parent company of Fossil. And unfortunately, if Fossil's going by the wayside, then so is Skagen, unless they are again picked off by another company or bought out, which very possibly could be. But right now they're on the chopping block, so everybody say goodbye to Skagen, as well as the luxury brand of the Fossil line, which is Zodiac. Now Zodiac has a long, rich Swiss history. I see them at the Wind-Up Watch Fair every year in New York City. They may not be there this upcoming year because they may be bankrupt or sold off. They may be sold off to a different Swiss watch group, like a Swatch Group or something like that. I hope that's the case. That would sure improve the quality. One of the things I didn't like about Zodiac all this time over the past 5 to 10 years is the fact that they were owned by Fossil. So that was a recurring issue. So yeah, that's the problem with Fossil owning a company. Now, from what I heard, every time I asked at the shows, they told me it's very similar with Carnival, who owns Princess Cruises. They said, yeah, Fossil owns us, but they leave us alone and let us do their thing. I don't totally believe that because the quality of Fossil is known as being Chinese crap. And unfortunately, when you have a parent company, it's not like Citizen owning Alpina. Again, Fossil is not on stable ground, so it's going to filter into a luxury brand like Zodiac some way, somehow, with reliability. So I don't know if Zodiac's going to be around anymore either, given the fact that Fossil owns them, and if they're not bought out by somebody else, they could go by the wayside of the dodo bird. And that would be unfortunate because they do have some really nice designs throughout the years and a rich history. The next one, as we have basically our last two now, this one's quite surprising. And this one I found extremely unusual. Baume and Mercier. This is not one that I saw coming. Apparently they're having a lot of problems. Too much competition out in the watch market. And listen, I get it. They're in that space of Omega, Rado, Tag Heuer. They're also in the space of Breitling to some degree, and Panerai and all those other luxury brands out there that are in Bulgari. All of them that are doing a lot better, have a lot more interesting designs, and I can't tell you the last time they really shook it up and really had a design of their own that really, shook the watch world. Even Tissot has the PRX models that are doing, fantastic because they have the unique look and they just coined their look. I mean, Baume and Mercier is one of the oldest brands out there. So if they do go bankrupt, now remember, they're still on their own, so they may get sold out. I would expect this brand to get sold out to a company like the Swatch Group or Richemont or something like that are going to gobble them up, very similar to how Movado gobbled up Ebel and Concord. That's what I would assume happens here, but right now they are in bankruptcy trouble. So if you have a warranty with Baume and Mercier, be careful about repairs and your warranties, as these guys have an uncertain future, to say the least. And finally, the last one's the most expensive literally out of them all. I'm not really shocked at this. HYT. HYT, I had done some interviews with when I was at the NY Watch Time over the past 2-3 years. And this is a unique high-end watch brand that told time differently. They basically would tell time through liquid. Very complex process. I can't tell you how it works. I mean, they have a certain battery component to them too, but basically the liquid would tell the time of the watch and where it was. So maybe this is just past the 10, so it's 10:05, 10:10, as it slowly tells time that way. A very unique Ghostbusters kind of thing, way of telling time. It reminds you of like Slimer and stuff like that. But sometimes unique doesn't mean successful. Sometimes unique just means unique. Very similar with Carlo Ferrara, who had the Dancing Hands watch, and as soon as he passed away, the company folded up because it was so unique. Nobody could really repair or create them like they could, and they had a patent problem that may be the same type of thing here. There may be a patent issue. There may be nobody can repair these, and the people that invented them no longer want anything to do with them, so they just have to go bankrupt. Or maybe they just didn't have any interest in the market and people didn't want to buy this design because it was too unique and too weird for them. I don't know what the true answer is. All I can tell you is they're going bye-bye as well. I think they went bankrupt in late 2025, so you won't be seeing HYT watches on the primary market anymore, only secondary markets. And basically, those are the 9 brands that are on the chopping block, unfortunately. Like I said, you have a variety of factors that lead to these decisions from companies. And the most, like I said, the shift to smartwatches is one of them. The fashion watch decline is another. Like we talked about the economic factors. And industry polarization is the fourth. When the demand is shifting towards high-end luxury or low-priced items, your middle market is basically squeezed out. And a lot of these brands are in the middle market. Now, that's not really the case for HYT or Baume & Mercier, but that's in a very crowded luxury market space. So they're going to be squeezed out as well. Different casualties of society in capitalization. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. If you have any questions, please write down below. Any comments, thoughts, like, subscribe, like always. And I will see you on the next episode of Watch Out.